In this video, I'm going to be showing you the easiest way to read music on the violin. Understand music theory, time signature, all those things that used to look complex. By the end of this video, you should have more clarity and more understanding on how this works. So without too much talking, let's get straight into it. Right, so in the previous lesson, we talked about the very basics you need to know when it comes to music theory. Your very first day of music theory, the basic framework. So if you've not seen that video, I strongly recommend you go watch that one first. It's going to be linked right there. So go watch that one first and then you come back to this. If this is your first day you're hearing about music theory. Good, so from the previous video, we already know that this is staff, 5 lines and 4 spaces. We already know that this is treble clef, and the second line of the treble clef is line G, right? And after that line, this space right here, space A, is the same thing as our A string on the violin. And we said vertical lines divide the staff into measures, also called bars. And these vertical lines are called bar lines. This is just a quick summary of what we did in the previous video as well. Before we do the next thing for today, we also mentioned that time values, and this is four count notes, a 2 count note, a 1 count note, and a half count note. Some of the things we did in the other video. Right, so having revised that, we're going to move it further for today. Let's do that. Good, so knowing that this is our A, right? This is our E, E string. This is our D, D string. And below 2 ledger lines, we talked about ledger lines in another video. This is our G. Right, where are other fingers? Where are the alphabets? That's the next thing we need to know. So say we have the violin here, neck of the violin. Right, and this is our first finger, second finger, third finger, and little finger. We have E, A, D, and G, right, which are open strings, right? So this A is the same thing as open A string. So from what we learned, after A, the line above it is going to be B right there. That's the same thing as our first finger on A, which is B, right? So if we see a note right there, we're going to hold down the first finger on the A string, which is our B. Right, so for example, if we see this note there, what do you think? We hold a B and we play it for 2 counts, right? Because that's a half note. And from what we've learned before, that's a 2 count on B. Let's move further. And then we have our C, which is the space right here. Most of the time starting off, this is going to be C sharp, which is going to be our second finger on the violin, right? C sharp. We're going to explain that what C sharp is as we move forward. Good, and continue, we have D, which is our third finger, and after D we have E, which is the next string, right? And if we keep going after E, we have our F sharp right there, which is the first finger, because most of the time you're going to have a sharp there. And then we have G sharp, second finger, right there, and then A, which is third finger, right there. Right, so this is how other fingers can be read from music. Right, so take your time when you're learning this material. You could look for simple music stuff like this that you could start applying this knowledge to. Good, so that's how other fingers fit in. You could do the same thing for the lower part, like string D and string G. That's it for that part. The next thing we're going to do today is what we call time signature, which is very important, which is the next and the last thing for today. Let's do that. Welcome back to Toks Violin Academy. If this is your first time here, I'm Samuel and I give you violin lessons, violin tips, music theory lessons, and even violin tutorials to help you beginners and intermediate take your playing to that next level. Right, so if you will be interested in that, this is the best time for you to hit that subscribe button, because you need to be subscribed to the channel so you know when videos come up. Turn on the notification so you get notified when videos come up as well. That way you stay connected with the channel. Time signature is those numbers that look like fraction we see at the beginning of the music. So for example, let's say we have 2, 4 here. They look like fraction because of the lines of the staff. They're actually not fraction, right? But as we're going to explain them, we're going to use a little bit of fraction to explain them even better. Good. Right, so for example, 2, 4, let's use this as a common demonstration. A over B, right? Where A is the top number and B is the lower number. So A would mean the number of counts that should be in each of these bars, right? So for example, if we have 2 up here, it means that we should have 2 counts or 2 beats in each of these bars. Could be one of like this, which is 2 beats, or could be equivalent of this, which is 1 plus 1, making 2 beats, right? So that's why for a 2/4 time signature, we're going to be counting it as 1, 2, 1, 2, because it says you should have 2 beats or 2 counts in each of the bars, or equivalent of 2 beats. Good. So that's how I want you to understand the top number. If this was to be 4, if we had 4 as the top number here, which means we will need 4 of this. So we just add a half note. So you know the half note is 2 of quarter notes, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we count a 4/4, right? So different time signatures give you a different feel and so on. Now let's talk about the bottom number. So the bottom number tells us what type of notes. This is the one I want to see as fraction, right? So let's say we have A over B, right? And we're using 2 over 4 to demonstrate. This is the same thing as 2 times 1 over 4. So 2 times 1 over 4 is 2 quarters, right? So 2 quarter note beats in each of the bars, right? So quarter note is now the unit, we call that the unit of the beat. So each of the beats in the bars will be quarter notes. If we had 2/8, it's going to be 2/8 notes, which is our half count note. 2/8 note beats, so 2 of this in a bar. So in this case, what gets that tap, that one is going to be an 8th note. So the lower number tells us what type of note gets the beat, or what is the unit of the beat. Good. What if we had 4/2, right? 4 half note beats. So in this case, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 half note beats in each of the bars, right? So you can realize that this is going to be way slower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, because they're half notes, they're bigger notes. What if it was 4/4? This would be 4 quarter notes. These are going to be slightly faster because they're quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So next time you see time signature, as a beginner, what you're going to see most of the time is either 3/4, 2/4, or 4/4, right? 3/4 means 3 quarter note beats in a bar, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2/4 means 2 quarter note beats, 1, 2, 1, 2. 4/4 would mean 4 quarter note beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quick break to let you know that if this content is helping you so far, or if you've gained knowledge from this content, give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comment section, so I know that yes, persons on the other end are actually benefiting from this video. Also, if you have a question, this is the time to put it right there in the comments, and then we're going to have a discussion about it on what we've done so far. Let's get straight back into the video. So that's it for time signature. Remember, it could be equivalent of this, right? It doesn't have to be 3 quarter notes. Could be 6/8 notes, because 8 notes, 2 8 notes make 1 quarter note. Could be divided and spread out like that. But what I want you to understand at the end of the day is how it's going to be counted depends on the time signature, right? So if you understand that, that's very, very good. If you've not subscribed, this is the best time for you to do that, because this music theory series would be going on, and you do not want to miss the next video coming up, because we have some really, really fun music theory stuff coming up in that one. Click that subscribe button, turn on notification so you do not miss any piece of it. If you have any question on this, I need to clarify, put it right there in the comments. Or if there's anything on this you do not understand, put it right there in the comments, and we're going to have a discussion about it in the comments section. Hit that subscribe button so you stay tuned to the channel, and go revise this stuff, go practice, and we're going to see you here in the next one. Go to the work.